Boom. All right. So I want to give a quick update. Today's Monday, and this was a rest day. It was just rest nutrition. Nothing crazy going on other than just focusing on that. Basically, prioritizing protein. That's about it. But what's taking course over the last couple days, to provide a quick update. So that'd be what took place Saturday, what took place Sunday. For Saturday, I was able to get in. So Saturday was just an overall active day. As far as what it fits into my routine, that would have been my my treadmill day. So over the course of the entire day, using my fitness watch, I track all my activity, including my sleep. I had 30,165 steps by the end of the day. How I ended up hitting that, that was work on the treadmill, which was about 35 minutes worth. And I also mowed the lawn that day. I ended up mowing the lawn, just your standard normal walking push mower. I have a 13,000 square foot lawn, so that's a lot of walking. On top of managing a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old that like to jump and crawl around and be active all day, hitting 30,000 steps was a breeze. Didn't even think about it. By the end of the night, I looked at my watch and I said, holy shit, there you go. Now, as far as my target for steps is, I don't really have a target when it comes to steps. My watch will give me notification. I think the default's just set to like 5,000. I've never changed it from there. I'm not someone that chases the 10,000 steps or anything like that. Obviously, I don't have a problem with any of that, but I do like to track it so that I know how much overall active time I have and what my active calories are, and then total calories burned. So my total active time was 5 hours. Again, like I said, mowing the lawn took about an hour and a half. I spent another 45 minutes or so on the treadmill after that, chasing 2 kids around, cleaning up the house, doing dishes, whatever. My watch tracked 5 hours. My overall active calories that were burned were 1,100. My total calories for the day, which includes, as it tracks my heart rate and all that stuff, it's able to track my total daily expenditure. By the end of the day, I burned 2,500 calories. I'm not really sure what I replaced with that with eating, but again, I'm just prioritizing protein, not even really tracking it, kind of just doing it in my head. I feel like if you're burning these kind of active calories, what is there to track anyways? Give it a week, look in the mirror. If I feel like I'm getting slimmer or not, jump on the scale. Scale's going to tell all of it. For Sunday, again, I ended up hitting, now I didn't go do any treadmill days or any treadmill work on Sunday, but Sunday I burned 14,000, I had 14,000 steps. Total active calories that came from that were 656, so quite less from the day before. Obviously, I didn't have as many steps in, but that wasn't the goal. The goal for Sunday was a ring day, so I did all my workouts on the Olympic rings here that I have hooked up to the squat rack, and that consisted of pull-ups, push-ups on the rings, which is why they're lowered here. Dips, I can raise them up just a little bit, a few notches, I can get my dips in, and then face pulls. Doing face pulls on the rings are a little bit sketchy, because currently the way I have it hooked up, it's on the squat rack. So if I'm trying to do a face pull off the squat rack has a tendency to tip. It's not bolted down into the foundation. So I just did some face pulls on some of the, I've got those large rubber bands. I just did 10 pounds. Made sure I was really getting that stretch in the elbows as far behind the back as possible. And which is why I went with the lower weight, because I just really wanted to focus on how far back I could get those. Nice, slow, steady pace. I wasn't rushing anything. Why I like working on the rings lately? I've been lifting weights for a long time, and I'm just kind of I get bored of the normal weight stuff. I'm usually bigger on compound lifts, and I'll do some isolations and whatnot. But overall, eventually, I just get burnt out and bored. So I needed something different. I'm just tired. I get tired of chasing that bench press number and the normal grind and stuff. I need to switch it up a bit. And what I found when I went to the rings was they were pretty challenging. I didn't believe how weak some of my stabilizer muscles were and stuff like that when it came to the rings. To put it into perspective, of course, the AC is going to kick on real quick. To put it into perspective, when I'm doing push-ups, just normal traditional push-ups, I can pop off about 25 push-ups without even thinking about it. But when I went to the rings, I could barely do about 5 when I first started. So it was a major challenge. And let me tell you, because they're slightly elevated in this fashion, like I am able to get really deep, and I'm able to get way farther stretches than I can on just doing normal floor push-ups. Now I know you can get those little Pareto bars and stuff like that, which are great, but for right now this is what I'm doing. And there's also like push-up variations that come with it. At the moment, if I want, I can lower those a little bit, or I could raise them a little bit, kind of target different areas, or rather than just being so stationary, I can, while I'm doing my push-up, I can rotate my arm out, or I could come in closer. One thing that I actually was doing was almost this like chest fly push-up, where I'm like coming down like this and then coming up almost in like a fly motion. And let me tell you, I'm waking up sore. And I only did 3 sets of 12. I don't even think I got a full 12 reps on my last set. I believe I only finished at like 8, which is something that I can't do with traditional floor push-ups. I'll throw an 8-pound vest on and I can still hit 20, 25 push-ups and like the next day not even be sore. So this has been really, really fun to be using. Another thing that I struggle with on these is dips. So I'll raise these up a little bit, start getting my dips in. When I first did dips on these, I was doing like half a rep. It was very humbling. I over here I can do dips nonstop. I mean, even it's been a while since I've used this because I've been doing so much on the rings. But I mean, here's my belt with 10 pounds on it. Sometimes I'll do 15 pounds and I'm still hitting anywhere to 12, 13 reps. I'm just like adding more weight. And like, I'm just, I just feel like I'm not getting that good of a stretch, really. And like, but with the dip bar, doing the dips on the rings, it's like a total different game. I'm feeling things that I've never felt before. So I'm obviously hitting different targeted muscles, probably working on a lot of stabilizer muscles, because you're freely moving. You're like shaking, you got to stay still. You're like really have to like dial in your focus. What else do I have on here? We talked about the push-ups, talked about the dip stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I hit everything on my checklist here to go over. Tomorrow's going to be a high-intensity training day on the treadmill. Initially, I thought I could have that conversation on the treadmill, and then I realized it's probably not realistic to be huffing and puffing doing a high-intensity interval training on the treadmill. So what I'll be doing tomorrow, I'm going to do a 5-minute warm-up, and then I'm going to do sprint for 30 seconds, do a light walk for 90 seconds, and then do that for 12 rounds. So the 5 minutes plus those other rounds will probably add up to about around 24 minutes. So, well under a half hour. I plan on waking up at 5:15 a.m. to get that done. I'll be done before 6 a.m. Have the dogs fed, showered, ready for the day. Still gives me about a good hour to maybe sit on the couch, watch some TV before the family starts waking up and we start getting our work day going. But nonetheless, that's basically day 2 here. A little video warm up, catch up. Some of the future workouts I could probably record and have some conversation while I'm working out, which I plan on doing. Just obviously tomorrow on the treadmill probably won't work out that well. But nonetheless, that's the update. We'll keep it going. Let's continue to burn that skinny fat look off and get back down to that athletic, kind of soccer thinned out look that I used to have back in the day. So that's all I got. Peace.